So from that moment on, we issued programs to encourage religious and cultural integration and toleration. Some of these examples can be culture days. So we use various elements such as music, entertainment, cuisine, and literature from various places around the world. And we kind of have an international day out at our school, and we have a nice time just exploring different cultures, religions, and stuff. And I think that was a really nice way to kind of get everybody together and get them to respect each other's cultures.
If you could go back to, I just wanted to make a distinction between what the government is already doing and then how you're sort of filling in that need. So there's a slide there that had basically what they had going on. It's toward the beginning, so there we go. I see. Okay. So basically, what you're saying is like with your solution, or at least your, I just want to clarify, your main solution are these multicultural centers. And from what I see over here, this has not been offered by governments or funded by government, or nothing like this exists.
No. We said that the government has built and it has been supporting these multicultural centers, but those multicultural centers are in inappropriate locations. So they're in locations where there is a low population of multicultural people. So what we're trying to do is that they have all the basic things that they need to support these multicultural people. So what we're trying to do is trying to steer these multicultural centers so that they're going the right direction, so that they're not they're not somewhere that does not need that much support, that they're somewhere where there are a lot of people, where there are a lot of multicultural people who need support from the centers.
I see. Okay. So just more of a question of where you put resources. It's sort of the wrong place. James, can you go forward now to their solution? There. One more. There we go. Okay. Alright, so you laid out sort of the issue right now. Could you let me know how this process will fix that? The thing I'm really looking at is the money from the NGOs. Could you repeat that one more time?
So by money, we don't just mean money, but we also mean like programs and donations of like educational resources, I guess. And an example of these associations can be something called Dialect. It's a program that educates the young children like various languages like Mandarin, English, French, Spanish through Skype. So the organizations like these are actually prevalent in international communities, like international schools, multicultural family centers and stuff. So we're looking for those kind of, that kind of support. And also money from NGOs. There's a lot of NGOs that embrace cultural integration, social harmony. So we're looking for support from those organizations.
Okay. Are you aware of the budgets of these NGOs?
Sorry?
Are you aware of the budgets or?
No.
I see. Okay. I asked it just knowing this community and being part of one. It might be sort of difficult for these NGOs to sort of part with their money to support other programs rather than their own. Has any of those thoughts come to mind in terms of, all right, you're basically asking an NGO to part with their money to do other things rather than their own programs. So have you thought about some of the consequences of that, or
But we won't really need that. We won't really need a very large budget, but because as we said, these multicultural family centers already exist.
Okay.
The only thing we have to do is we have to tell them that they're in the wrong direction. So they're pointing at the wrong direction. They have to focus on another bigger group of people that need their help.
So we need to reallocate the wealth flow into regions that really need it.
Okay. And what was the one way to do that?
Well, I personally called some of the centers in Korea. So one of them was in, as you mentioned, Gangnam, and one of them were Songpa, my district, and another one was in Yongsan, where the most where it's the most international community because there's a American military base there,
Right.
which was stationed a few years ago. I'm not sure, a few years ago.
Mhm.
So anyways, I called them and then in Gangnam, the rich place, they said, we don't really need you guys. Like, yeah,
Okay.
so I'm kind of like, why are you guys even here? And then they said, sometimes people come and go. So,
Mhm.
what was your question again?
Yeah, so, alright, if it's as simple as just telling them to marshal to reallocate their resources, like what's the one thing that you will do to convince them to do that?
Well, we can either try to bring multicultural families into the already funded centers, or we can kind of, you know, it's hard on our side to say it, but
Shut the
no, fund them less because there still are people, but there just aren't that many.